Excelsior, everybody, and welcome to Sword and Keys premiere of Thunderbolts Savage. I am Derek Sword. I use he, him pronouns, and I am so very fortunate to be joined by this wonderful cast of people who are going to be playing some of Marvel's less team-based individuals. I think I've often described them as villains, anti-heroes, general misanthropes, not a lot of lone wolves, I guess is the kinder way of saying this, who are all on the Thunderbolts team, a team of anti-heroes and villains that has existed in the Marvel Universe for quite some time, to varying levels of success. We'll talk more about their history here in a minute, but I do want to say that this game in particular is in support of the Living Arts Detroit. Fantastic organization that works to bring arts and culture and music and programs that support all of those things to the greater Detroit community and to kids from before kindergarten all the way through high school. So really cool program. We've partnered with them in the past, and we are doing so again. There are some incentives built in should you want to be able and willing, both those important, to donate. In Marvel, there's not advantage, there's edge, there's not disadvantage, there's trouble, and then there's things called fantastic successes. So there's different layers for each of those, depending on how much you donate, but you can give individual successes, individual edges, individual troubles, group edges, group troubles, or even a fantastic success to a single player, which makes things just go perfect, absolutely off the charts, full page splash kind of scene. This is a Marvel Multiverse RPG game. We are using the official Marvel Multiverse RPG. So we are going to have some official Marvel characters as they're presented in that book. And to that point, Marvel being something that has been purchased by Disney. First of all, happy Star Wars Day. I guess we're not playing a Star Wars game. We're doing the other thing. But Disney has not been the best company out there for a pretty long time, and they're kind of showing their face a little bit more and more in some bad areas. So this game is not in any support of Disney or its the way that it chooses to spend its money in political ways, and in fact, fuck them for doing that. But I still have a soft spot for Marvel in my heart and the characters that I have loved since I was a kid, so I still want to tell this story with these wonderful people with that disclaimer built in. I should also say you can find all of Sword and Keys links at beacons.ai/Sword and Keys, since this is one of those games. We do have some fantastic affiliates that I highly recommend supporting, like Long Dog Dice, if you're looking to get a fantastic dice set. Jen makes incredible, beautiful sets, and you're guaranteed to find something you love. Alternatively, we are affiliates with Hit Point Press, the makers of Humblewood and the animated spell cards and the Griffin Saddlebag books. Actually just got yesterday the first Griffin Saddlebag book, as well as the For Want of a Nail graphic novel from Humblewood. They're still in plastic, but they are gorgeous. I highly recommend using our custom affiliate link if you're going to be purchasing anything from them. And then we are also affiliates with Eldritch Foundry, where you can make miniatures for your TTRPG character, no matter how weird and wild they happen to be. Plenty of other things there, including the link to this Tiltify, are all on beacons.ai/Sword and Keys. Check it out. All that said, let's go ahead and go around. If you want to say your name, your pronouns, and who you are playing today, let's go ahead and start with Anne. You're in my top left corner. I think you might be muted. Not yet. You might be hard muted. Can't hear you just yet. I'm going to give you a sec to figure that out. Let's go to TV.
Hi, my name is TV. My pronouns are she, her, and today I'm playing Frank Castle.
Yeah, that's that
pronouns he, him.
The Punisher. The Punisher, of course.
Yes,
yeah.
the Punisher.
That's
Sorry,
Frank Castle.
Yes, sorry, the Punisher. Francis Castiglione.
As his mother would know him, Frank Castle.
Exactly.
Yes.
His birth name. Yes.
Yeah, Franklin. Yeah. Thank you so much, TV. Next up, we have Bunnie.
Hey everybody, I'm Buns and I'm playing Typhoid Mary.
Fantastic. And next up we have Cass.
I am Cass, pronouns she, they, and I'm playing Mark, or Steven, or Jake, otherwise known as Moon Knight.
Fantastic. And let's wrap back around to In. I know tech issues are very frustrating. We can't hear you just yet. It might be check to see if your mic maybe got powered off.
Weird. Hello? Is it
There
working
we go.
now?
There
There
it
you
is.
are.
Okay. We got it. Okay. Great.
It's early. Hi, let's
It's all
try
good.
that intro again.
Yeah, go for
Hi,
it.
my name is Anne. My pronouns are she, her, and I will be playing Black Cat.
Fantastic. Felicia Hardy yourself. Wonderful. Well, again, thank you to these wonderful players. Thank you to all of you who are joining us. Again, there are incentives built in if you would like to donate to the Tiltify for Living Arts Detroit. But this is a Thunderbolts game. The Thunderbolts, as there's a movie out in theaters, you might be able to piece together, is a team, always put in quotations, of anti-heroes and supervillains. The original team put together by a villain who was trying to convince the Avengers and everybody else that, villains can turn straight, only to infiltrate them and, take over the world and everything. But it turns out the villains liked being the good guys for a little bit. And that team has expanded and has had rosters change and swish and ownership change all the time. It's been under the control of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a time in the actual comics. It's been in control of villains for a time as well, who had less than altruistic intentions. And most recently, it is under the command of Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, although that's like modern continuity. And to that point, we are working with our own sort of continuity. So some stuff will kind of be like, it's all based on the knowledge that I have of Marvel, and I haven't read a comic for a while now. So a lot of this is going to be like early 2000s or whatever I pick up from, what Google sends me for stories. So some 90s references, some early 2000s references. Characters are going to be what we make them based off of the general understanding, since this is a Marvel mythos in the same way of the ancient Greek mythos. Stories will change and adapt depending on who's telling them. So while this isn't Earth 616, it's pretty damn close. So our little ragtag team of antiheroes and villains have been pulled together. Most of these individuals, actually, no, all of these individuals have committed crimes. All of them are at the very least vigilantes, if not outright villains. Many of them have committed a laundry list of reasons to put them in prison for the rest of their lives. However, they're superpowered beings, and sometimes that means getting special treatment. So with this iteration of the Thunderbolts, you all have been rented out to S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D. being the organization that works to protect the world. What is it? Strategic Homeland Intelligence Enforcement Department? I know, it's something along those lines. I should have looked that up. Nevertheless, you are not the A team of S.H.I.E.L.D. You are, or of the Thunderbolts rather, you are the B team. Whereas the Winter Soldier and Red Hulk and Venom and Ghost Rider and Hawkeye even have all been members of the Thunderbolts, you are not them. That's not to say that you are not well-renowned in your own ways, but you find yourselves now on a Quinjet, a almost decommissioned Quinjet, a rather out-of-date Quinjet headed straight for the Savage Lands. Each of you are strapped into jump seats with metal buckles and restraints over your shoulders. Your arms are free, your legs are free, and your weapons are locked behind you. So you are currently unarmed, not really free to move about the cabin at this point, but not totally alone, as there is someone who seems to be free to move about the cabin. And you all are looking at a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who is pacing around a holographic table. The table itself not holographic, but the image that it's depicting is. And this S.H.I.E.L.D. agent is giving you your sit rep. Rather, I might argue unpleasantly, but nevertheless, that's where we will pick up. So, you all are in this Quinjet. The air you can hear kind of rushing around the sides. The Quinjet itself shaking somewhat with the general turbulence. You've been in the air for a long time. Not a lot of bathroom breaks provided on this Quinjet either. And this bluish-green holographic image is depicting a kind of rectangular-looking building. It has like tower, almost like a radio tower extending up from it. And this shield agent, as you would know him, Agent Sherman, in his blue and white shield uniform, little insignia there on his shoulder, a gun in its holster. He's very much trying to emulate early Nick Fury, is pacing around. All right, you dissidents, it's time to listen up. You all have been given the basics of our particular mission, but it's time you get the specifics, and that's where I come in. None of you here is a particular leader type, as I have read your reports, so that's why I'm going to give you a little bit of direction, and I expect you all to follow orders to the T, or I've been granted full authorization to terminate you at the earliest moment of any sort of rebellion. I want to make myself perfectly clear on that. I will not hesitate. Great. So, our mission, as you are being told to accept it, is to rescue any intelligence officials, anyone who might be based at the Savage Lands United Nations SHIELD member station. It is located, and he'll press a button and the map will kind of shift to a map of the Savage Lands. And we'll have a map, it's official, so I'm sorry, stream, you can't really see it. But this is the monitor station right down here, right near Magneto Citadel, there, kind of in your southwest corner. We have lost contact with the monitor station, and it is imperative to SHIELD, the United Nations, and the powers that be, that we retrieve any and all pertinent information to the research that was going on there, research you do not need to know, and any staff, any personnel who might be there, hence our Quinjet, which is more than suitable for additional personnel as well as yourselves. I want you to know that safety and survival is not guaranteed. However, should you be successful in this mission, time will be taken off of your particular sentences, and you may return to the streets to do whatever mayhem you all happen to do before we inevitably catch you all again. All right, any questions?
You guys are actually here, right? I'm not just imagining this.
Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely not just imagining this.
If only.
I mean, we
Yeah.
could be.
Unfortunately, not figments of your imagination, although I should have taken into account the overall population of this plane, considering the amount of personalities we seem to have between the several of you. Listen, I'm gonna be up front with you. This mission should be clean cut, easy peasy, no issues whatsoever. We're gonna land right outside the monitor station. It's got a landing pad and everything. We're gonna go in, we're gonna clear it out, we're gonna get out of there.
I swear, if you
I
say
don't
what could
anticipate
possibly go wrong.
Statistically speaking, the more you say it's going to be an easy, clear-cut mission, the less it's going to be an easy, clear-cut mission. Especially
I'm
given
not
that you
gonna-
you decided that we're not gonna find out what they were researching.
Bet you $5 somebody's gonna fall out the plane.
You know what? I'll take that bet. I will take that bet. Listen, Savage Land's rough, all right, but it's got mutates, and it's got dinosaurs, and it's got lots of things that can and will eat you. But we're not gonna get close to any of them. Not a single one. We're gonna get in. We're gonna get out. If anything, this should be just time off y'all's sentences.
$10.
Sure. You tell yourself, okay.
Ma'am, I'm on the SHIELD salary. I can only afford so much, please.
I'm sorry. Do you need some cash? Please, please, could you hand me my
I don't want to
purse?
add bribery to your sentence. All right, let's keep our lips shut and our ears open, and we shall be there. And he walks over to the control panel. Just a few minutes, looks like we are crossing over the Eternity Mountain range right now. If you want to look out your windows, there are no windows. You might see some dinosaurs or the wreckage of War Room X, or I don't know, Misty something or others. I'm just guessing at this point. And you can feel like the Quinjet is shaking a little bit, like as you're passing over the mountains, the air pressure changes, you're feeling this turbulence. It's stable enough, you know. Quinjets do have 4 engines, propellers that are kind of, you know, omniversal, so that hence the Quinn. But this thing is rickety, it seems. Is there anything any of you would like to do?
We can't reach our gear behind us, right? We're sort of strapped in.
It's kind of like the jump seat you're in is you have these straps around you, and then like all of Frank especially, all of your weapons are like in this metal case, and they're all locked up around the sides of you.
That's fair enough.
That's mean. Number 1, that's mean. Number 2, this shield agent is the only one who is currently able to walk around freely, correct?
Mm-hmm. He is the only one besides you that is in the Quinjet currently.
Okay, so I had this really dumb idea. As soon as Typhoon Mary was like, "You want to make a bet that someone's going to fall off the plane?" I don't know how Black Cat's powers work, but if I were to leave this guy a parting gift of some bad luck, make him more likely to fall off the plane? I don't know. The sheet that you gave me doesn't actually tell me how these powers work.
Yeah, so Felicia's whole deal is that she got like a version of the super soldier serum, not like the full dose that Captain America got. So she is stronger and more agile than the average person, and then her suit also has these claws attached to it. So she is a literal catbird worker.
Yeah, but she also has like the whole luck manipulation jinxes and stuff, right? Like, could I mess with him a little bit as a parting gift? I mean,
super familiar with her having. Let me see if it describes what her stuff is.
Like probability powers. Most of the time, whenever she was doing robbing, it was like the alarm just wouldn't go off.
Oh, that's right. She has a cybernetic probability generator. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So the way that would work. Let's see what her power.
Increase the odds of him falling out this plane.
Yeah, let's see if she has that built into
Amazing.
Her.
I don't.
We do
There's
have
a power
what you're going
called...
to do is the use a power ability, which is at the very bottom of your actions list.
Okay.
And
there's a power called Jinx You, and
Jinx
when I
You.
click it, it doesn't describe what it actually does, because I guess I don't own the books on Dummy Quinn.
Let's see.
Okay.
Okay. So, effect. The character makes a
do
melee
I have to
check.
physically hit him?
It does look like it's a melee check. So, on a success, the power takes effect, and the foe has trouble on all action effects made for the power's duration. On a fantastic success, the target also makes a standard melee check. What I will say is,
so
it's
a violent thing. I thought it would be hilarious.
What I think would be fun, if you want to roll me an agility roll, I'll have a DC for this where you can stick out your leg to try to trip him, and thereby creating a jinx contact with that. So if you want to roll agility, and tell me what your number is for that.
Sweet. First roll, guys, for something stupid. Just a
something
regular
hilarious.
Okay, just an agility roll. Great. Mm-hmm. Wait. Here it is. Oh, wow. I rolled a 15 with a 4 on my marble die, if that means anything.
The marble die only matters if it's the M. If it's a 1, and that's when it will actually affect certain things. Cool. With a 15, as Agent Sherman is walking past, you stick out a black boot, white tufted fur on it, and he trips right over it, stumbles, knees hit the hard metal grating below, and he turns back and he points and he goes, "That's assault on an officer. I'm adding that to your sentence." Right at that moment, the Quinjet shifts, takes a hard, almost barrel roll-esque turn to your port, and you all instantly feel this jolt of energy, of kinetic energy. As I guess I should ask. Well, I probably don't have to ask because I do know some of you. Is there anything particularly metal that any of you would have on your persons? Any necklaces? Is Frank wearing his dog tags? Anything like that?
Yeah, Frank would have his dog tags, and I'm sure he's got steel tip boots. You know, he's sort of actually depending. He might even have a plate in his head at this point, which could be bad in a lot of ways.
Also valid, yeah.
So yeah, he's got it's a strewn about him.
Frank, your boots. I know Felicia's got her claws. Felicia, your gloves are like pulled in that same direction that you are listing now. The dog tags extend outwards. Your boots kick up a little bit. Typhoid Mary, anything that you might have on you, any necklaces or anything, and like fillings even, you feel like your jaw being pulled forward. Same thing with Moon Knight and Mark for like anything you have on you, and you can even hear like the weapons behind you, anything metal, like clanking against, and that kind of sound that you hear a lot in X-Men movies when Magneto's pulling on something. And you feel this intense magnetic shift as the Quinjet starts listing, and then it starts to spin. And you're feeling that intense motion sickness, if any of you might have that, as you are just whirling in the air. The lights have gone completely red. You hear this alarm blaring. You can see that the holographic screen, the holographic depiction has changed to magnetic detected, or magnetic area detected. And as the Quinjet is now just like a top, basically spinning with all of you, you instantly feel it shoot off. You can see that the map has changed. The map is still pulled up, and the little X where you were all trying to go is getting further and further away. Your Quinjet is no longer, the engines no longer seem to be in operation, and this thing is in near free fall. Sherman, who's been slammed into one of the far walls, looks to all of you and goes, "Well, I guess that did happen to whatever," and he slams a button against the wall, and you will feel you'll feel yourselves jolt backwards out of the ship. Your seats going with you as you have been ejected from this Quinjet. There are boosters that are shooting from behind and under you to try to slow, but as you all look down, you see jungle beneath you. Is there anything any of you want to like? Again, you are still like metal strapped into these seats, but is there anything any of you would like to do as you are now essentially in free fall?
Yes, I would like to try to unbuckle my seat with my powers. I can levitate metal under 10 pounds, and I would just like to unhook these stupid things. So I can, just one of them, like this one, so that I can still be locked into place in some aspect right now. Yeah,
if you would like to use your powers for that, go ahead and give me a roll for your powers.
Or is it silly not to say, can I unlock this thing before I try to immediately do that?
Unlocking will be a pretty high roll, and you don't really have any lockpicking stuff on you. So it could be melee, where you're trying to literally push the metal off, or you absolutely could use your powers for that.
I'll use my powers. I'm panicking. Yeah. I'm like,
I mean, I hope this isn't like too gross body horror stuff.
No.
If you could like dislocate your shoulder, we could call that like an agility.
Oh yeah, Bloody Mary would definitely do that. And
that feels like a Typhoid Mary thing for sure.
That's happening right now. Is like, I'm thinking, should I use my powers? And it's too much thought. You suddenly hear, "You're taking too long."
Okay, go ahead and give me a. Actually, we're not going to call that agility. Let's call that resilience. As you are, it's like dislocating your thumb to get like handcuffs off. Yep. That feels like an absolutely Typhoid Mary thing to do. She like dislocates a shoulder to try to wiggle her way out of this.
Sorry. From a distance, Mary's just gonna hear, "Sorry, don't think you're getting your $5."
And roll. I got a 10, a 6, and a 4. Oh no, wait, you said the M is, I have to mention when I roll an M. You're muted.
Sorry, only if it is a 6M6 because that's a 616. Yeah.
Got you.
Otherwise,
no, I got a 614. I
fair
scared
enough.
myself.
Yeah, no, you're all good. Yeah, a fantastic roll is 616. I think an absolute failure roll is 1M1, and
Yeah.
that is a fantastic failure, which means you still succeed upwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, and yes, it is a fantastic roll. I'm sorry, it is a fantastic roll when you do get an M die as well. So yeah, even if you got a 1M5, that's still a fantastic roll. So this does succeed. And I'm gonna say you don't take any damage. However, you have popped your shoulder out of its socket, and you have been able to wiggle yourself out of one of the restraints. So you have whichever arm you would like free at this point.
Okay, this one, and once it's out, it was because we were falling backwards. We're free falling essentially backwards and upside down, like just going down, right?
Yeah, you're kind of like spinning in the air a little bit. There are boosters coming out of the seat, because it's like a jump seat out of like a jet. You are in one of those seats that is trying to stabilize you, but you are kind of tumbling through and
yeah, that was so that I could try to which is funny because now it's kind of like that. If you've ever seen Horton Hears a Who, where their arm is just going
yeah,
like this, it's kind of what's happening while I'm trying to turn the thing so I can see where we're headed. Is there any type of landing anywhere? Is it just all jungle?
that's a good question. Go ahead and give me a vigilance roll.
Can I ask, is there anything, or can I maybe do a roll if I see, is there anything on these seats that look like there may be a shoot button or a parachute cord or anything?
Also a good question. Go ahead and give me a vigilance roll for that as well, please.
Go.
Oh wait, no, roll the whole thing.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6.
7.
That
Where's
would be a smart thing to do.
Trouble
What
roll.
is vigilance?
It's a regular
Vigilance.
roll.
Vigilance.
I have a.
Oh, okay. Vigilance roll. I got 18.
Great. Okay. So I'll do it with Frank's thing, then we'll get to Typhoid Mary's. So as the Punisher looks around and is trying to stabilize here, you do know as you're kind of looking at this seat, I have to imagine the Punisher has been strapped into a jump seat before. You see that there are controls kind of set into the bottom of the seat a little bit that you would be able to reach. You know that if there is a chute, it will probably deploy automatically. However, there is a pull cord to your top right for a what do I call it, secondary chute, just in case the first one does fail. And you also notice that all of your weapons are bolted to the seat around you in their particular containers. So as you're kind of looking around at that, you do have the option to pull your secondary chute.
Okay. I'm gonna just shout out, check the bottoms of your seats if that carries to any of the people also free falling through the air.
Yeah, a lot of wind noise.
Yeah, but it's
I got more.
Buns, what was your vigilance roll?
Sorry, I got it. 3 of 5, and then I add the ability score, right?
Yeah.
So 6, 11.
Great. Looking around where you are right now, all you can see is jungle, very misty jungle beneath. It is it's a absolute sea of green with just fog even covering a lot of it. So it's just these different shades. It's actually even kind of hard to tell where the trees even end where you are at this point. You look off in the far distance, you can see mountain ranges. And maybe as you're falling, you can kind of see water, but it's hard to tell what direction you're facing at this point.
And I was not paying attention when that man was speaking to me. Oh, okay. Where are we going? He said we're supposed to go in, out. The others around me, do they seem like they're all going in a certain direction, or
you're all falling downwards. You are all headed in the same direction for sure.
Good. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't. I made sure I wasn't not following directions.
Oh boy.
So at this point, I've kind of wiggled out. Now I'm riding this thing, like holding on to the one that was still hovering, and they're like floating. I'm like, all right, if I land, it can at least be on this stupid thing. Do I see that someone has a parachuted?
Frank, have you pulled your parachute yet?
I was gonna wait to see if it deployed automatically. I'm not 100% sure on our height right now, but
Yeah.
I would just say based on his judgment, if he thought, okay, I'm getting a little too close, then he would pull it. But just depends on where our height is at this moment.
I will say you all have been tumbling for a minute. Your parachutes do deploy, and you feel the actual pressure from below as the rockets kind of shoot out to slow your descent as well. But you are still headed right into a jungle, and landing in a jungle is going to hurt one way or another, even if you're in a jump seat. So if there's anything else anybody would like to do, the parachutes are going to at least make sure that you have a soft landing. It's just getting through all that tree line that might be the frustration.
I would like to escape my chair, please.
I'm happy I can see what's coming towards me right now.
You said that we have kind of controls on the bottom.
There are controls down there. You would kind of know that a lot of them are superfluous at this point because you're not connected to Greater Quinjet. The biggest thing that you're going to have is going to be the secondary chute, and the other ones just kind of give you that lower lumbar support and like heated seats.
So there's nothing that could like I can't maneuver the jets at all, right?
No, those are completely automatic at this point.
All right, in that case,
that's later gen Quinjet. This is like Gen 2 basically.
In that case, I'm just gonna try and use my weight to sort of, if I can shift, swing the seat a little bit to try and aim specifically for more of an open section of jungle. Like if there's maybe just a gap in the trees of any kind, I'm just going to try and shoot for something that doesn't immediately swing me into foliage.
For sure. Go ahead and give me an agility roll as you try to do some air acrobatics.
Just going to try it. Oh, that was very bad. A 1, a 2, and a 1 plus 4 equals 8.
Okay. Frank, as you are slowing your plummet, you use your immense mass for what is essentially just a dude to throw your chair. And as you do, you actually do begin to spin, just like on a central axis at this point, as you're going around, still just heading downwards, almost like a drill into the jungle.
So undignified.
Drift plays in the background.
I would like to get myself out of the chair because I can glide on my own, and I feel like that'll be an easier landing than being stuck on this chair.
Also true. Okay, well, Moon Knight, if you would like to do that, go ahead and let me ask you, would you like to wiggle your way free, force your way free, or use some sort of powers to get your way out?
I think I would like to just escape artist, just like get out of this.
Yeah.
So,
for sure. Let's see. So you do have your escape reaction. So the way that this is going to work is you've been grabbed, pinned, or paralyzed by something physical. You can attempt to escape just like you would with a regular action. So let's call this an agility roll, and it'll have a set. They don't call them DCs, but I can't remember what they call them. It's like TRs or something like that. But a set number you're trying to hit for it.
Okay. I got a 15.
15 is good enough. So yes, Moon Knight able to escape artist his way out like he was never even there in the first place. The parachute setting, the rockets beneath, you are able to get both arms free from this jump seat, and presumably spread your crescent cape. And
yes, I'd like to feet on like whatever chair part of the seating there is, arms holding like back, and I want to push off so that I can get away from the seat and the parachute because I don't want to get caught in that. And then I unfold the cloak and start to glide.
Great. Okay. Well, then, as you all are descending, hitting the tree line now, Moon Knight gliding above the canopy for just a little bit, you all are able to safely make it past all of the trees, branches breaking, birds, flying off in distress. You can hear the chittering of insects and the calls of wild animals that are all kind of just immediately freaked out by your presence and intrusion into their ecological habitat. Your particular jump seats all come to a solid thud on the ground, jolting your teeth a little bit should you still be strapped in. Mark, you glide solidly to the ground, and as the seats hit, the restraints click off, and all of your weapons are also unlocked. You hear a clinks as all of the weapon containers along the side of the seats have opened, and you now have access to them.
Hell of a morning, eh, Frank?
Not my finest moment.
There isn't a weapon listed on my sheet, and so I don't know exactly what Black Cat is packing, because she's got her claws, right?
Yeah, she typically doesn't carry weapons, so she typically has claws attached.
Yeah,
Claws
I just assume she's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to clarify that.
For sure. Yeah, a lot of her stuff is just physical punching, kicking, and then she does have the claws as well, because you can't have a cat character without giving them claws. So, yeah, everybody freed then. You would hear a kind of roaring noise, mechanical roaring noise from above, as you would watch Agent Sherman descend with a shield-issued jetpack on his back. And he will come down very Rocketeer-esque, just solidly landing on 2 feet, his little buttons on the side. And as he lands, solidly, well, suppose I owe you $5. And he pats himself down, gets like his little side shield pocket, and pulls out like a crisp Lincoln. There you are. Actually, isn't the government docking your wages for failure to report taxes?
No, that was Mary's.
Yeah, I ain't a lawyer. I don't know how that one works. Well, that was a less than ideal landing, but everybody survived all the same, so I'm going to count that as a win. We unfortunately do not have exfil at this point. Fortunately, I do know that they have transportation at the monitor station, so problem solved. We got to get there anyway. They're going to have it. So, best be walking then.
Frank is just getting, armor suiting up, getting all of his gear, and immediately looking. I just assume he has a compass.
Felicia's just looking at this guy like completely just indifferent and just totally blasé about the whole thing, and she says, "Do you even know which direction to go? I thought you were the leader here."
Yes, I know exactly which direction to go. He pats himself down again and pulls out something out of his side pocket. It's a little cube, and he turns around a little bit, presses a green button on the side of it, and again a holographic 3-dimensional image pops up in front of you, and it is a map that he then turns of the Savage Lands. Let's see. I'm looking for we are here, and we are, I will mark on our maps, we are right here. So, looks like we're little far off from our particular goal.
You're stalling. Are we lost or what?
No, we are not lost. We are just not where we were supposed to be, and that means we're going to have to walk through.
So we're late.
Hey, we're going to get there when we get there. They were not expecting us in the first place. They lost communication. That is the point. We're going to. We're the heroes here. I need y'all to remember that. So, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be fine.
Are you convincing us or yourself?
You know what?
No,
If
I
it's a
have
column A,
trouble
column B,
convincing myself of doing a lot of things too. You have to breathe. You have to take charge. You have to point us in a direction.
Yes. We're going to head, and he's looking at the map.
South.
While
Yeah.
he's distracted, can I attempt to grab the map from him? I want to grab that cube, just sleight of hand it out of his hand like a cat burglar.
Sure. He has it pulled up. It is in his hand, so this is going to be a high DC. But yeah, go ahead and roll me an agility roll, unless you have any other abilities you'd like to use for that.
Frank is looking over at Mark. Just sort of this stern, blank expression, but it says a lot. And I think Mark's maybe the only other person right now he can look at and go,
Could you remind me what evil
You
eye
somehow
does?
read through Mark's mask that, yes, you look like how I feel.
I'm sorry, Anna. What was your question?
Could you remind me what evil eye does?
Let's see. Evil Eye. So let me find where it is. There we go.
No.
So you can inflict trouble on anyone in your path. So it is a power set of luck. The character picks a foe in their line of sight. The foe has trouble on all action checks made for the power's duration. There's no limit on the range between the character and the foe. Once the power is activated, the character must pay the focus cost at the start of each of their subsequent turns of concentration to keep the power working. So you're basically you'll give him, if you do use Evil Eye, you'll give him trouble, which is essentially disadvantage on all action checks made for, I guess, a turn is 6 seconds. So you could do it once. It's a cost of 5 focus per turn.
Okay. I'm just looking at all these powers and I'm like, I just want to mess with this guy because I don't know if the audience could tell, but Felicia's decided she doesn't like this guy. No, I'm just gonna. And you said no, not vigilance, agility. You said.
Yeah, if you're going to swipe something from his hands, I would call that probably. I'm going to double check, but I would consider it probably agility.
Okay. How do you do? How do you do? Hold on, let me double check something. Determination. Which one was it that I was looking at? Would my sneaky trait apply here?
Your sneaking hiding trait? Yeah, I would probably consider that. So I'll give you edge on that.
And how does edge work? Sorry, I'm
edge is
super
advantage.
new.
So you re-roll whatever one of your lowest die are, or you could re-roll your Marvel die to see if you could get a fantastic success with it.
Okay, so I just re-rolled the one die.
You re-roll
Okay.
one of your die. Yeah, one of your 3.
Okay, cool. Sorry. Well. Okay, that is a sorry. Numbers are hard.
You're okay.
That is an 18. No, wait, I lied. That's a 19.
19's pretty good. Okay. With a 19, he is looking off towards the south at this point, and you hear like a breaking of sticks from behind you. His head turns to look, and he goes to like reach for his weapon. As he does, you just these 2 little black clawed fingers and just pick it out of his hands real quick. And as he does, he like swoops back and goes, oh, damn birds.
You're absolutely useless. And she, would she have had enough time to deactivate the map and just like hide it behind her hand?
For sure, yeah. As you pull it away, he's no
she's
longer
just
holding
like,
the button. It's off.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Well,
and he said to go south, correct?
he did, yeah.
Is that what? Okay. If you're going to be a leader, you're gonna have to make sure, you don't lose the map. And she just laughs to herself, and she'll turn away from this agent, and in a way where her back is just like towards him, and everyone else can see that she's tossing this cube in her hand like a ball.
Fantastic. Yeah, he kind of yells after you, saying, "How the hell am I supposed to account for birds just stealing my damn maps? I have a great sense of direction. I was an Eagle Scout. I know exactly which way we're going, and we're going that way. And
Okay.
I'm gonna take up the rear to make sure that all of you are doing what y'all supposed to, because that's my job here. I'm gonna lead from behind, the way good leaders supposed to."
Frank, did you bring a compass?
Of course, I brought a compass.
Can you lead us to the building?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, he's got a compass out already. He knows which way is north. He's.
I assume a certain level of tech savviness from Felicia, because her power set has tech reliance. So she just turns on the map and shows it to Frank while he's using his compass, like as a tandem thing, and just says, "Here."
Now you have the map
He
and the
takes
compass.
it. It just goes, some bird.
I'm glad you all got it back from the bird. You know what? I will let you all hold on to that. That's the generosity that I'm going to show, because we're part of a team. We're all Thunderbolts here, just as like lightning.
Moon Knight just starts walking as Sherman's talking.
Okay, yeah, this is great. I like. You know what? I don't even have to. Micromanaging is not my ordeal. It's not my proclivities.
Frank looks. Just looks at him and goes, "Where'd you graduate?"
Georgia Tech.
Okay. I thought you were going to say West Point.
No, I couldn't get in.
Okay.
Grades not up to par.
Honestly, really wanted to be a Bulldog, or Alabama. I was really wanted to Roll Tide, but it was my backup's backup. It's fine.
Look where you are now.
Yeah, I was Dean's List, and look where I am now. The Savage Lands. Shit.
I'm gonna hand him the map back now that I've had a good look at it. Just let him take it, and just kind of do that sort of like Frank is like 60. He's just this sort of military pat on the shoulder of like, good job, buddy.
Frank, having looked at the map, having had the compass, why don't you give me a logic roll with Edge to figure out like how long it's going to take you as an Iron Man flies from where you are to the monitor station.
With Edge, I got a 12, 5, 2, 3.
Okay, so this is jungle territory, something that you are unfortunately very familiar with, and somehow Frank's a Vietnam War veteran, canonically, more often than not. The Savage Lands are kind of like the Vietnam War plus dinosaurs, which, depending on who you ask, the Vietnam jungles have dinosaurs, but that's the podcast I do about monsters. Anyway, you would know that traversing here is probably going to take you, every square is going to be about a day of travel. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, almost 4 days of travel, moving through this very extensive land that is like on a peninsula of Antarctica. It's a pretty nasty place, all things told. That's not to say that there aren't people here. There are plenty of people that live here. Again, the Savage Lands are not a secret place, and it's a vacation place for the X-Men sometimes. Like, people know about it. But not going to be the easiest path to traverse through. You do know also that you are just west of this river system, that, if you do want to travel by water, that's always an option. But traversing through the jungles is going to have its own challenges as well. So just putting that out there for you.
And the river would probably be faster, right?
Potentially faster, although more in the open at that point. And you're also getting pretty close to what you've seen on the map as Sauron Citadel. Sauron, again, a character that is known in the Marvel Universe as a guy who just really wanted to be a dinosaur, and also is kind of a vampire at the same time. Weird pterosaur vampire combo.
So good.
Cured cats. I didn't want to cure cats.
I want to turn people into dinosaurs.
One of the best.
You know what?
One of the best
I
memes.
respect it. I
Yeah.
respect that. Frank's gonna kind of, as they sort of start walking, kind of relay some of this to the group, and just kind of say, based on where we are and how long it's gonna take, it's gonna be about 4 days of walking, I think. So, what exactly is our supply situation?
Are you asking the group, or are you asking Agent Sherman?
I sort of just the group and Agent Sherman, because like I meant in my head, Frank probably always has 1 or 2 MREs stuffed in his backpack.
Yeah, it's part of his loadout.
He's just this is the overly prepared.
There could be a McDonald's literally next to him. He's like, no,
Eating out of a tuna thing, just like,
Yeah.
no, it's fine, I got it.
That's fine. You
Just
were supposed to bring food.
no, well, no, I'm just attempting to see what our situation actually is.
I have 3 granola bars.
Great.
I can set things on fire. I can move things that are metal. I can possibly do other things that I'd rather keep hidden right now. The point is, I'm useful. So what are you trying to do?
Well, I mean, I can lead us perfectly fine. I just say it's going to take 4 days.
It's gross. How do we do that faster?
Sauron Citadel's nearby. We could go down to the river. That's open. There's going to be a lot of predators down there.
This is becoming the world's worst camping trip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ew.
Agent Sherman pipes up. He goes, actually, I don't think we should go anywhere near the rivers or Sauron Citadel, because I know he's been active in the area per the information that I was given, my debriefing. Also, correction mark, you have 2 granola bars, as he like pops one into his mouth and starts munching on it.
Rations.
Yeah, we're going to need energy. Energy. And
You're lucky I'm not Jake right now, or I'd hit you for that.
I don't know what that means, but that sounds like a threat.
Sort of.
Anyway, if we're near Sauron Citadel, maybe we should go pay him a call, because he's a vampire, and I need to find Dracula. That nerd owes me money.
Very nice. Very good.
I was gonna say, Frank isn't like a good mood. This is weird. He's like, I'm in the jungle. No, I know this. This is good. I can
handle
kill
this.
almost everything around
he's
me.
He's weirdly like calm.
It's like, we got this, guys.
I'm just having a pretty good time.
My question is, if this is the case, and we're gonna have to survive. I'm supposed to be a team player right now. Well, if we're gonna survive here, that means we're gonna have to have some type of plan, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My plan is to ignore this agent and succeed at the mission.
Like in the most respectful way. You'll get the credit because we succeeded, but that's all we can offer you.
I'm totally fine with that. I ain't got no superpowers here. I am just a man with authority and a pistol. So I know my place.
Why'd they even give you that pistol? You know that won't stop most of us.
Or anything out here, for that matter.
Well, what will stop you is the button that I have that will inject a severely deadly toxin into all of your systems. That was the disobey, and I won't hesitate.
That.
Agent Sherman, you've read about us, right? I mean, I've died before. It was boring, so I stood up.
Well, I mean, if you die, that gives me a few seconds to run away, so I'll take that chance.
Oh, okay.
Again, I know my place.
All right.
Okay, let's
go.
try and let's just start walking in the direction of where we need to go, and then.
Okay. So I guess I should ask then: are you all heading south, or are you all heading east to the water?
I think
Can we
Frank would
travel
like to
parallel to the water?
propose.
You can walk. Yeah, walking south is parallel to the water. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Frank would probably suggest if we maybe go a little bit closer to the water, not necessarily at the river, but to maybe have it within like vicinity might be a good idea.
For sure.
So he might sort of lead them if they're following his lead at this point. I don't. He would probably just sort of direct them in a little bit of a southeast direction, just to kind of, if they're here for 4 days, they should have a water source. So
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. As you all are traveling, then, why doesn't everybody give me a vigilance check? Just what you're looking out for. This is like a perception check. So just what you notice as you are traversing this jungle. These mystic mists.
Guys,
Uh,
I got a double roll.
14, and Frank's gonna go ahead and take point with whatever largest blade he has on his person. I don't know that he would have brought a machete, but he's at least got a.
He would have brought a machete.
I don't know how much.
I have too many military men in my family.
I know.
He would have had a machete.
I just don't
I'm
want to
pretty sure I did put
assume.
knife as one of his weapons.
Yeah, I'm
just-
assuming
Yeah.
he has a K-bar. I just don't want to assume that he has everything that could possibly be helpful.
I got you. I got you. If he doesn't, Typhoid Mary has a machete.
Just to at least sort of
Bringing it down.
cut a
It does
path.
say I have a katana, so
Hey,
There you go.
why not?
Ladies and
Claws. Black cat just cuts through things with her claws, I assume.
right, but it's
Um,
only to get you through. Like it's not for everyone.
Yes.
else. It's just
Well, I mean, it's just
It's like
That's
those
Felicia's-
gardening claws
Felicia's
that people
very-
get, like the glove trowels. It definitely feels like that, where you're just getting
but
a
they
lot
can
of
cut
foliage
through
stuck
metal. They can do
Yeah.
that glass thing where you can make a perfect surface.
which is
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's
Yeah,
they are made of diamonds.
that's true.
the energy is that she's reluctantly working with the team, but she's always been like, I'm a solo act. So she's not gonna hinder everyone else or anything like that. But she is clawing her way in a very kind of
Got you.
individualistic manner. Like the path is literally Felicia sized because that's all she does while they're walking. And I rolled a 14 on vigilance.
I
So
also rolled a 14 on vigilance.
amazing.
Moon Knight and Typhoid Mary. What about y'all?
I got a 16 on vigilance, and I would like to grappling hook up into the canopy to keep like a wider eye of things if I can.
For sure. Yeah. All right. And then Buns. What about Typhoid Mary? Oh, you have your own black cat.
Yeah, hello, Neoma. Oh no, you perceived her, and now she wants to sleep on my lap instead.
My cat is currently glaring
Actual
at me
black
from
cat
his cat
cameo.
tree.
Perfect.
But I rolled 3 6s.
Okay. So,
Amazing.
18 total. All right.
18 total. But,
Is it
sorry,
plus your vigilance?
That's what
Yeah.
that's what I was about to say. Plus the vigilance is 21.
Great. Okay. So what we'll say then, Moon Knight having gone up into the canopy, leaping from branch to branch, this kind of like white specter above. You have Agent Sherman walking behind. What is your marching order otherwise? Is anybody necessarily leading this group? We have a couple of people kind of cutting
I
through
would
the
think
footage.
Frank
So
ahead, and then me and Felicia in the middle, and now with Moon Knight kind of hovering over us, and then you in behind. So you're behind me.
fantastic. Okay. Walking along, it's very humid here, right? Like the air is dense. You're in a very thick jungle area, and it is misty. It is hard to see more than 15 feet in front of you. Every now and then you can hear the sound of some sort of animal, scurrying away through the green just to get out of your way. You don't necessarily hear anything big coming near you, nothing that's breaking branches, just little as something goes off. Mark, as you're looking down, it's hazy. It's hazy looking down at the rest of your party, but you're able to at least, track all of their movements pretty well. With your high enough rolls, with Frank leading the group, cutting through all this green, everything else, you're moving for a couple hours, and again, it's hot, potentially even sweaty. Your eyes are trying to focus, your ears are listening out for everything, and Typhoid Mary and Moon Knight would spot this. Typhoid Mary maybe just a few seconds before Moon Knight does. Frank is cutting through the brush. It's this kind of like thicker sort of branch that he has to take a couple of hacks at. And he is just about to step through a tripwire.
Stop. You had said you have steel-toed boots?
I do.
You can't move suddenly. Don't no. Look down.
Frank, go ahead and give me an agility roll with edge as you try to avoid stepping on the tripwire.
18.
Great. You have your boot just hovering over it and are able to pull it back in time, and you can see that, there is a very, very thin cord of some sort of tripwire that's been tied between these two trees, one of which you just cut a branch off of, that you absolutely would have triggered. As you follow it, being someone familiar with tripwires, this isn't like piano wire or anything. It's something that you could see, but it's brown, it's corded, it's something that would blend in very much with just like the mulchy earth that you're kind of walking around. And as you follow it up, you can see that it trails up to these two massive spike traps that would kind of, you presume, slam down almost Ewok style onto where you would have just stepped. And they are carved out of sharpened wooden stakes. This is, as far as you can tell, a man-made trap in this part of the jungle.
Someone wants to play.
This doesn't seem like a vampire dinosaur trap.
Well, there are.
I mean, I don't know enough about the Soren guy, but do I have any idea, knowing what I know about the Savage Lands, who or what this may have originated from?
Good question. Go ahead and give me a logic roll to go through your catalog of characters of who this might link to.
Not bad. 17.
17 is pretty good. Okay. With a 17, you know that there's definitely Sauron, and not the Lord of the Rings one, the vampire pterodactyl man. There's also his buddy Stegron, the dinosaur man, who they both are just dinosaur people. Their biggest drive is controlling dinosaurs, being dinosaurs, making other people dinosaurs. Doesn't really seem like their vibe. Alternatively, there's Khazar and Shinra. I have to double check that. They are kind of like your standard Tarzan characters. They probably make traps, but they, as far as you're aware, don't live anywhere near here. And Khazar's whole deal is like protecting the Savage Lands and being friendly and carrying a spear. He's not really like a trap maker as far as things go. I'm going to double check her name real quick. Khazar and there she is. Shauna. I was close. Anyway. Other than that, you know that Magneto's been about from time to time, but he mostly comes down here when he's feeling really mopey. And again, a wooden spike trap, not really his deal. There are the mutates. They're pretty far from here. There's plenty of dinosaurs. Are they smart enough to make traps? Maybe. You're kind of looking for maybe one of the local tribal peoples who live in this area. But you're not exactly sure if you can necessarily pinpoint it at this point.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to very carefully maneuver around this trap.
Yeah, it's something that you could blaze a path to go around it or step over it, and you would be able to do so. Having pointed it out to everybody else, you would note that pretty successfully.
Right.
Okay. Anything anybody
Appreciate
wanted
it.
to do? Yeah. Anything anybody wanted to do before you continue on?
You're
Buns,
muted,
you're
Buns.
muted, bud.
Huh.
There you go.
No. I didn't hear you for a second. Sorry.
Hi. No, that's my bad. I moved my mic at one point. I should
Okay.
probably move that back over here. That's my fault. I sound okay?
Yeah, sound great.
So, if we're not gonna try to draw whoever made this trap to us on purpose by setting it off, I'm just gonna follow the group and go over it. But is there? I think I just want to make note of it and like how it's made. So if we find another trap that seems similarly made, we know that somebody is trying to catch people on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kind of a thing. If it's going to be a coincidence, we can just let it be a coincidence. But I want to remember where this is in
'Cause
case
that-
we need to use it.
Because
Mhm.
that trap looks like a kill on trigger,
That's what
not
I mean,
necessarily a yeah.
So
It
if
does.
we
I'll
set it
actually-
off, if whoever made it will be like, haha, my trap, and come check.
I'll tie this into your logic roll. That the trap that you're looking at is, I mean, again, when I describe like an Ewok like trap, I'm talking about something that could take out like a chicken walker, an ATST. This is a trap much bigger than any of you would qualify for. This is something like if you were going to take out something as big as the Hulk, it wouldn't take out the Hulk, but something of that size,
Yeah.
it would be for something of that height and mass.
This is yes,
You
this
all,
is
this
this
it
is
would be
catching
absolutely
dinner.
overkill.
Yeah, this may
Okay.
be a hunting trap, yeah.
Right, so then we're just gonna avoid the hunt trap. If anything, here's hoping they get some food. Like,
Yeah.
so it's not us.
Sounds like a plan to me.
I feel like Felicia can just reasonably avoid that. She's
Yeah,
like,
everyone's gonna step
nice
over
catch.
very tiptoe.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it,
I'm
Typhoid.
gonna help our friend though. You're just gonna make sure there's no accidents here, buddy. Hey, Agent friend, I'm gonna help you over there.
You know what? I really appreciate it. You know what? That's an extra month off your sentence.
Ah,
Just-
only
I'm real generous
only
when it comes
7
down to it.
life consecutive sentences to go, but
there.
minus 3 months.
I
Frank just
believe
sort
in
of Frank is muttering to whoever's closest to him. I don't know if he has the authority to do that.
you. He 100% doesn't.
Just like I don't think
I think Felicia hears that nearby and says, I didn't think so. Just quietly for Frank to hear.
No, he's absolutely the kind of teacher's like, do you want me to call your mom? Well, she absolutely will not. That teacher will not call your mom. She does not have that authority.
Like if anything,
Um,
she's afraid to talk to you.
Yes. Okay. Continuing onwards then. You will move through the jungle. The mist is actually getting thicker at certain points. And with your continuing vigilance rolls, it's about another couple hours, maybe even longer, where some of you in like full costumes are really feeling the humidity of this. Frank doing great. Frank loves his life. Frank just, yeah.
weirdly relaxed in a way he
Yeah.
hasn't been in a very, very long time.
Yes,
I'm-
jungle full of deadly things is Frank's version of a sauna.
He's already on high alert all the time, so this is just kind of like
It's validating in a way.
I am surrounded by danger. Everything around the corner does want to kill me. This is just validating.
I'm not paranoid. It's valid this time.
It's valid this time.
Yeah,
Mary
I
just sort of-
imagine
Go ahead.
being sorry. I was just gonna say, I imagine being in a fully black like bodysuit is
Oh,
not
mhm,
great for this
mhm.
weather.
mm-mm,
Absolutely.
mm-mm.
You and me are just like the two teenagers who are like, you said we would go to a waterfall, not that we had to hike to the waterfall.
Yeah,
You
and
said they went on vacation here.
two
Yeah.
femme characters with like big hair too. I have to imagine the humidity is just not being very kind, especially to Typhoid Mary's curls.
It's not.
No, not the hair.
I've at this point they may or may not have taken a vine of some kind and just like legitimately wrapped it around their hair. so they
Absolutely,
just have-
yeah.
It's like
It was a snake at first, but you know, she checked
just
out, yeah.
don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah. Cool.
I feel
Uh,
like it's important to say in my head to make this, because everyone's talking about what they're wearing. This is Moon Knight in the Mr. Knight fucking tuxedo in the middle of the fucking jungle.
Great.
God,
Okay.
yes.
Those shoes are
Rough
not
stuff.
made for this terrain.
Yeah, I know that gauze wrapping is not. Well, I guess there's no gauze wrapping on the Mr. Knight one, but yeah, not meant for jungle travel.
Nylon breathable mask, hopefully.
Great. You all continue again for those few more hours before again Typhoid Mary and Mark, you pick up on this first. You hear the sounds of what is very evidently an animal in distress. You can hear kind of the cries of some large, almost like trumpeting sort of animal that's giving off this distress call. And you can't necessarily see ahead, but it sounds big, whatever it is. And do with that what you will.
Oh.
Does it sound like if we keep walking the direction we're going, we're gonna come across it?
It sounds ahead of you, yeah, for sure.
Ah, yeah, we're already just on it.
She's
We
gonna
wanna save things.
that, or it's stuck in one of the traps we just avoided.
Oh, yeah. Well, boys and girls, let's go see.
Let's go investigate. Investigate. I said that,
Um,
not Frank.
Yes.
Actually, what do you see up there? Be the moon. Be nosy. Be in everyone's business.
Yeah, you've got a couple sets of eyes, right?
Two. I've got two eyes.
Just different people looking through them from time to time. Yeah, Muna, if you want to do another vigilance roll to see if you can get a higher roll to kind of gaze ahead, and again, if there are any powers you want to add to that, please go for it.
I got a total of 18 with my vigilance score, but it is also a fantastic roll.
Great. Then yes, as your moon vision cuts through the mist, you see ahead where you can kind of see the silhouette of it more than anything else. There is a large animal. As you're kind of like focusing in, you can see feathers, you can see a long neck, you can see it's sort of bipedal. It's a dinosaur as far as you can tell. I'm not sure what Mark's or any of the personalities' knowledge of paleontology might be, but there is a saurian animal ahead, and then you can see several smaller animals all kind of jumping around it, and the sound seems to be coming from the larger animal.
Okay. I think it's an Archaeopteryx and a bunch of other stuff.
Nice.
Other
Define
avoid
other
stuff?
stuff.
Yeah.
Define other stuff.
Like other smaller dinosaur creature thingies. The big bellowing one appears to be what I think is an Archaeopteryx. It's got
Okay, how
feathers,
many?
but it's a dinosaur.
Okay.
How many? She's just like
You
looking
can
at
tell that there are
Moon
5
Knight
of the
with
smaller
concern.
ones, one of the bigger ones.
Okay.
There's 5 smaller creatures and the big one. So 6 total.
Mm.
I mean, you wanted to get through the jungle faster. If we rescue this thing, maybe we can ride it.
Is it big enough for all of us to ride? I don't know how big an
It's
Archaeopteryx
big.
is.
It's not an Archaeopteryx. I need to be very clear about that.
I was like, Archaeopteryx? Isn't
weird-
that the little chicken thing? I think.
It's the first feathered dinosaur that was found. It's very small.
Yes.
Moon Knight does not know dinosaurs. That's what we've
Neither
established.
do the rest of us. We're like, oh yeah, Archaeopteryx. Let's go see it, guys.
Frank is like,
Also,
fucking idea
it's
what
the
that is.
Savage Land. Maybe it is an Archaeopteryx. They just made it bigger because
Big.
Sauron's just like, I'm gonna turn things into things.
That's also
Sure.
weirdly valid.
I think we are gonna check out our hurt friend and see what we can do.
make sure my gun is at the ready.
As you move forward, presumably cautiously, the mist begins to cut and break, and you see a clearing in the trees, kind of this widened area where just tree growth hasn't really happened that much, and you see the mulchy undergrowth, and before you see a large dinosaur with these very elongated claws on its hands. It has one of its legs trapped in this wooden kind of almost like spiked leg trap that's almost like an improvised bear trap that is grabbed at about the leg, and then surrounding it are 5 what we think velociraptors are thanks to Jurassic Park, but are more Utah raptors. These feathered, bipedal, big claws on their toes dinosaurs. They're kind of just nipping at it, and the bigger dinosaur is swiping at these things, trying to get it away, calling out with this like distress call, basically, as these little things just no, no, just trying to nip at it. So it seems this Therizinosaurus, and it is a saurus, but Therizinosaurus is has its leg trapped while all of these raptors are kind of pecking at it here or there. You have not been noticed just yet because the raptors do have their attention on this potential meal. So kind of behind a little bit of brush, what would you all like to do?
All right.
Ooh,
Is it big enough to ride?
That's a good question. For some of you, yes. I'm gonna say for all of you, no. It would probably be able to fit maybe 3 of you, and it's not like it's flat. This thing kind of stands up on its hind legs a little bit. It's got these big claws on it. You could probably have a couple.
Picture of it.
You could put a saddle on
I want
it.
to name it and make it my friend. We're saving it.
can I sneak and help free this guy from this trap? I'm assuming that as a cat burglar, I have experience with traps. Can I disarm this thing and help this little guy? And by little guy, I mean
would be
big guy.
Putting yourself right in the middle of 5 raptors who are looking for a meal.
Yeah. Are we
Frank
going
is
to use
gonna
the
just-
distraction or not? That's really the question.
Frank is just gonna
that's
sit his happy ass right near the tree line, and with his just at the ready. But he's just gonna let this happen. Just gonna let this play out.
Yeah, like could we possibly? Is there a way that Black Cat can feasibly
Sneaking over would
sneak
be,
off?
unless she could turn invisible, pretty near impossible to not get spotted. They're in an opening. There's 5 of them, and the trap
Oh,
is
this is
on this
wide
thing's
open.
leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a clearing. This thing has been caught in a clearing where, again, what we can say 40-foot circle, where this thing has been caught near the center of it, and it has these 5 raptors all around it. It'd be
we can either fight
pretty
5
difficult.
raptors, or we can let it be a distraction and kind of keep going where we're supposed to be going. It doesn't mean we won't have to deal with 5 raptors later. It means we'll get away right now.
I mean, yeah, that's probably the better plan. Sneak away from the dinosaurs instead of disarm.
Could we ride the raptors? This changes everything, so think about it.
Not all of you. I
That's
think
fair.
Frank might be putting some stress on those raptor hips, to be fair.
Fairly large man.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, he's got a lot of mass to him.
Right.
Agent Sherman pipes up from behind. Listen, we don't need to be doing any dino rescue here, okay? We're not on a dino merit. What's the opposite of humanitarian for dinosaurs? Anyway, we're not on that sort of a mission.
Something?
We're just gonna go on around this way, okay? And he goes to take 3 steps off to his right, and you will watch as his foot gets caught in a pull trap, and he gets lifted into the air by his ankle. And as he does, he goes, "Oh shit!"
No.
All the raptors turn their heads to look at him, and therefore all of you. And so that's where we're going to take our break. And when we come back, we will go ahead and roll for a mission.
God damn it! I really wanted to catch him before he got trapped. Well,
He's too incompetent for that. I'm
This
so
might
sorry.
be the safest he can be right now. Is right up there.
So
That's
stick
fair.
around. We'll be back.
Also,
in-
now we get the joy of cutting him down and letting him fall.
There's also that. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Please enjoy our ad reel. Please support any number of our wonderful affiliates. And please donate to Living Arts Detroit to impact our game. Thank you so much. Stick around. the Marvel Multiverse RPG being run here on Sword and Key. Let's jump right back into things. You have found a Therizinosaurus, a large sauropod. Actually, no, not a sauropod. I guess it's a theropod technically. I believe they're herbivorous, although they might have had beaks, which implies different things. However, they have big fucking scythe claws on their hands, and it has been caught in a wooden spike trap and is surrounded by 5 raptors. You all, the Thunderbolts, a team of anti-heroes and villains, have been traversing through the jungles of the Savage Lands, trying to get to a monitor station, a shield monitor station, to rescue the personnel and information within. Crash landed far from your target, and with your haphazard leader, Agent Sherman, who has just got himself in a separate trap. These raptors have now turned to face all of you. Let's go ahead and roll for initiative. Initiative is just a 3 dice roll. You automatically succeed, and it's the same way as initiative typically works. Whoever gets the highest number goes first, and so on downwards. And then we'll talk a little bit about combat here.
I got an 11, but I also got. Oh, it doesn't matter. But I got a Marvel one. My first.
Great.
Got a 6 on 6?
Yeah, it didn't matter, but I was like, oh, I got it.
Okay, so an 11 for Punisher.
12 for Mary.
Sorry, what was
Hold
that?
on, let me just.
How much for you?
A 12.
12. Thank you.
Does combat reflexes apply to initiative? I guess it doesn't.
Well, combat reflexes. Let's see. If you have an
No,
E
it
next
gives-
to your initiative roll, you get
Oh.
advantage. You get edge on your rolls. So let's
It's
see.
fine.
Yeah, for Black Cat, it's just a +4 initiative modifier.
I rolled a 9.
Okay. And then for Moon Knight.
Moon Knight got a 13.
All right. All right. Put Moon Knight, and then Black Cat, and then let's do some rolls for these dinosaurs here. Okay, that is a 14 for the Raptors, an 11 for Sherman, and a 10 for the Therizinosaurus.
Oh my
So-
god, they're all faster than me. What the hell?
I mean, to be
hate
fair,
this.
they're dinosaurs, but still.
No, but the incompetent agent too? Come on. Feels bad, man.
My apologies. It's actually 15 because I have a +2 to initiative.
Okay, cool.
Wait, do I have?
Let's see.
Yeah. What the hell am I gonna do with dinosaurs? Jesus Christ.
So, something fun with Felicia, with Black Hat in general when they're
I know! Black Cat!
Oh.
Black Cat riding a dinosaur. No,
Cool.
we'll
So
see what
our
happens.
initiatives in our Zoom chat.
Oh, I
So,
have an
Moon Knight.
edge.
You were going first. You, I believe, still should have the high ground as far as things go. So 5 raptors have just swung their heads around and are looking at all of you with their front-facing, feather-flocked, lizard-like eyes, and you see them just kind of just making these little chitter noises at you as you are either challenging them for this prey or you are meals yourselves. Is there really a difference to these swords? So with that in mind, what would you like to do?
Okay. I would like to... From my perch above, I am going to throw my crescent darts at one of the Utah Raptors.
Fair enough. Yeah, the step luck I have came from the somebody made this from the Marvel Multiverse RPG Discord, and they're called Closer to the Movie Monster. So these are historians from that. So the way the combat works is you are going to roll depending on what you're doing one of your abilities with a combat check. So, for example, if you were throwing something, you would do a combat roll with your agility and add your attack modifier. So, for agility, it's a +5. If you have anything else that you might be doing, for example, Moon Knight can be part of a fastball special. Probably not the throwing part, to be fair, but can still be thrown. You would have additional things to add to that. If it's a fast strike, fast attack, things that you can add to it. Once you do that, you're going to be challenging the defense score of the thing that you're attacking, and then if you succeed, you do damage. And you might have damage reduction if you were wearing armor or the Hulk. If not, it depletes the health pool that you have. You alternatively have a focus pool, which pulls from your spells, and there are certain attacks that will reduce that as well. If you're doing psychic attacks or different superpowered attacks, you can reduce the focus pool or the health pool. With that in mind, you're throwing one of your moon darts. Go for it.
Okay, so while you were explaining stuff, I was looking at all my choices because there's so many things to read.
Quite a few.
So it says I have weapons blazing where I can blaze away at 2 foes at once. So I'd like to... I think what I'd like to do is I leap from my perch and throw at 2 enemies and then glide down.
Fantastic. Yeah.
All right. And so they're both agility anyway, so that gives me a total of 17.
17 will beat the defense score of these raptors.
And it's a fantastic roll. I forgot that part.
Fantastic. Okay. So, what is the damage for that then?
Okay. So... just the Marvel die for damage, if I'm reading this correctly. So the damage is...
Yes, so you'll have damage multipliers at the bottom of your character sheet. So it'll tell you how much you will multiply your damage by. So for, let's see, for Moon Knight, your agility damage multiplier is your Marvel die times 6 plus 5. This is a lot more math than I'm used to.
With the +1 to damage from the crescent dart itself, it's a total of 20 damage.
20 damage. Okay. Cool. So, are you hitting one with 2 of them, or are you hitting 2 separate raptors?
I'm trying to hit 2 separate raptors.
Okay. So we will call this 20 damage to each. So you watch as 2 of your moon crescent throwing star knife things, darts, hit 2 of the raptors pretty solidly and cause slashes against them. And you see them kind of jolt back and then kind of lean forward on their little bipedal legs and kind of elongate outwards and start kind of like bobbing and weaving now that they know that you are aggressive to them. That this might be a fight for dinner. So cool. Anything else for your turn?
So then at mid leap I'm throwing, so then I unfurl the cloak again, the crescent cloak, and glide down. And I mean, I have to say it. The moon haunts you!
The dinosaurs tilt their heads, kind of confused. That's a very weird sound for an animal to make. Okay, cool. As you glide down, these 2 raptors go to close in with you. That you're swooping at them. They're going to charge at you. In fact, all of the raptors except for 2 of them are going to charge. So 2 of them are going to go after Moon Knight, and then 1 of them is going to go charging off. Frank has sat down. I'm going to say it's probably going to go after Agent Sherman, who they did get their attention drawn to, and he is kind of strung up. So let's go ahead and do some rolls for that. So Raptors 1 and 2. Let's see. Moon Knight, your defense is... It's literally everybody else but you. This is going to be melee attacks. So only one of them is going to hit. It's a meter beat. They got a 14. So one of the raptors is going to jump up as you're kind of like flying down. It's going to kind of do like its feet out first with one claw and come just slashing against you. The other one is going to try to bite at your leg as you're coming down, and it is going to miss and end up behind you as it kind of skids to a halt. But the damage that it does is, let's see, that is 7 points of melee damage towards you. And then this other raptor is
I have a reaction.
Yeah, please go for it.
I have a second reaction per round to do with martial arts. I was kind of like lagging behind. Would I be close enough to respond if this dinosaur is going after Agent Sherman?
Depends on what you're responding with. You're close enough to Agent Sherman. I think that probably you'd be within melee.
Yeah, it would have to be a martial arts reaction if I'm going to use my special thing.
Okay. Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Hold on, let me double. Do it. I can't. It just says. Hold on. What is this? Sorry, I am new to this, but I will make a martial arts attack. Oh, it's the combat reflexes, an additional reaction each round. But there was something to do with martial arts. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna attempt to do a martial arts move on this guy.
Okay, as a reaction.
Can I do? Yeah, can I? Is it just? Okay, wait. Is it just one attack if I'm doing it as a reaction? Because I have multiple strikes. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna do a regular melee attack, I guess. Martial arts. What is that? Past strikes. Oh, it's just regular melee. Okay. See. I'm gonna use my edge, I think, to reroll.
Okay.
Reroll my d6. Sorry, sorry. Okay. Math is hard. Okay, it's 15 with my martial arts. It was a really bad roll.
Yeah, a 15 will beat the defense. So go ahead and you'll multiply your Marvel die.
Okay. That's 18 points of damage on this raptor that's attacking, or that's going after Agent Sherman.
Okay. Cool. So with that, then it is going to turn towards you. Then, since you have distracted, it's going to take its attack on you. So this raptor is going to.
Okay.
All right, that is a 15, and that's a melee. So that will meter beat your defense score. So this thing is going to do. It's actually only 7 points of damage to you as well. As it turns around and takes a snap at you, and ends up getting just a little bit of you with the teeth there. Yeah.
Is there? Okay, I guess. What is it? What was I looking at? My evasion trait? How does that work?
Let's see.
Does that do anything? Sorry, I'm still learning it.
You're fine. We're all learning together. It's all good. You can dodge fists.
The evasion power.
So let's see.
Will it allow me to dodge dinosaurs?
You can use your agility defense score against melee attacks as well. So your agility and melee are the same. It would still hit.
Oh, right. Okay, it just swaps which number to use. Okay.
Yeah, which they're both
Thank
15
you.
for you. So Black Cat has evasion. I don't think it's necessarily... I'm not sure if it's helpful necessarily for her, but it still makes sense for her to have evasion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
So let's see. That was... Yeah, that's right. All right. That is it for the Raptors' turns. Let's go on then to Sherman. He is stuck in a tree. He is hung up by his left leg, and he is going to reach for his weapon. He is, let's see, he's going to try to do some suppressive fire to see if he can get these raptors to leave him the hell alone. Let's see. He pulls his pistol from his shoulder holster and just starts wildly firing. He's upside down. His face is already getting red. It's only been seconds, but you can tell like his blood flow must be great. And he just wildly fires. Frank, especially like knowing bullet trajectory incredibly well, he hits almost every tree around and not a single goddamn actual living thing.
Okay.
He misses everything. But with his suppressive fire, let's see if that actually gives him anything interesting here. There we go. Okay, vigilance defense, attack success, apply health damage. Fantastic success. Okay, so, well, it technically is a, it's against their vigilance, so let me actually check the Raptors' vigilance. Actually, he does hit the Raptors. I take it back. Sherman was actually capable this time. So he does actually hit with their vigilance score being the target, and so he is going to do his damage, but the damage is going to go towards their focus, not their health score. And so I will deduct that from their particular focus score, which actually reduces it a decent amount. He has done some suppressive fire to kind of distract them a little bit and see if he can spread them out. With that, Typhoid Mary, it is your turn.
Could I enhance something that he did to hurt one of the raptors instead of just scatter all of them? Like maybe it did damage and then I can keep going on that one. Their firepower can use spontaneous combustion, so could I like just make the bullets do like harder damage, like make them explosive rounds, essentially?
Sure. Let's see. In that case, I will have him do damage to 2 raptors, and instead of the damaging their focus, it will damage their actual health. So I will reduce their health instead.
Now me doing that to help them, would that count as my turn, or could I do something else now?
That would be your turn if you didn't want to do that, unless you want to do anything else.
Only thing else that I could think to do is to move towards him to get him down.
Okay. You can absolutely use your movement to do that.
Cool. I'm going to like slide, like run, and then try to like slide so I can stay low so the raptors don't like try to get me. But I want to take a handful of dirt from where he was shooting and use the shrapnel to cut the ropes that's like holding him up so he'll fall.
Gotcha.
Would that be just my would that be, I didn't know if that counted as melee or agility.
I'd probably count that as agility. I could see either one, but Typhoid Berry seems more like she would use agility for that.
Mm-hmm. So they're kind of like looking around, really sporadic. Like you can tell their eyes are trying to take everything in, and then they're like, "Fuck me!" And then they just like dart off, and that's when they do the slide. And I'm gonna roll, and hopefully it's cool. Fantastic roll. I got a 17.
Great. Yeah. So what does this look like?
So it's like like basically F me, and then they go darting towards him. He's like, and you can hear 2 of the raptors kind of go like bleh from getting the explosive round in their face, and that's when they slide between and just go like this and throw what looks like dirt, but some of the shrapnel from the rounds like go and cut some of the ropes before it falls.
Great. Sherman slams to the ground on his face and goes to scuttle to his feet. Fantastic. Anything else for your turn?
No, that'll be it. I will stay with the squishy.
Awesome.
I am also squishy. I will stay with the other
Yeah.
one.
Okay, Punisher, your turn.
Just because I'm a little curious some of the combat stuff. How
Yeah.
I believe it's if I'm gonna shoot, it would be agility, not melee.
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
that is correct.
And then how many? If I'm using a pistol, how many shots would I be able to get off in a round?
I believe typically the attacks are kind of targeted at one person, but
Okay.
let me pull up your character sheet as well to make sure that I'm giving you the correct
Yeah,
information.
I'm so familiar with 5e just as a rule that I was like, Rangers take 2 shots. I don't, whatever. So I just
so
was
let's
curious on that one.
A pistol has a range of 10 spaces, damage multiplier +1. Stack. Okay. I'm thinking it probably is a standard. Yeah, it's looking like it would be listed under just regular attack. So it would be 1 attack. You have 2 reactions and your movement. So yeah, it would be 1 shot that you could be taking at this
Okay.
thing.
No problem. I'm just gonna maneuver over a little bit to sort of behave a little bit more as a buffer between Sherman and the Raptors because he just got his dome rocked a little bit.
Definitely.
And whichever raptor is closest to us that are a little further back, I will just take a shot at.
Great, go for it.
And that's a 15.
A 15, yes. A 15 will, in fact, break the agility defense score of these raptors.
And for damage...
Yes, damage is going to be your Marvel die. So whatever your middle die was, you'll multiply it by 5, and then add 4 to it. Actually, I believe you'll add 5 to it because I believe if you're using your pistol, it is a plus. I'm sorry, it's a +1 bonus to the multiplier. So I'm sorry. Take your Marvel die, multiply it by 6, and add 4.
I see. Okay, so I hit Marvel, so that's 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I believe.
Great.
10
Okay.
damage.
Alright.
And that'll just be my turn for the moment. I'm just kind of at the ready to, if anything comes near me, to take a shot at it.
Very cool. Okay. Next up then is the Therizinosaurus. This thing is going to take some swipes at the raptors. So let's see here. That, and then the Rhizosaurus. There it is. Okay. It's going to take some melee swipes at one of the nearest raptors to it. And so it unfortunately does not succeed. It misses as the raptors are able to jump out of the way, and it kind of just catches air. But it is going to keep trying to defend itself and keep that distance. There's still 2 raptors. They're kind of trying to distract it and get around it and flank it. It doesn't have a ton of movement. That is it for its turn. Next up is Black Cat.
Whew, I forgot to unmute myself again. I would like to. So, how many raptors are there?
5 in total. All of them have taken damage at this point. And there's 2 that are nearest to the dinosaur, and then there's 3. I guess 2 of them are right up with Mark, who is kind of halfway between you all and the dinosaur and the Therizinosaurus, and then there's 1 that went after Sherman.
So, I want to do a thing, but it's limited by my rank. There's 5 raptors, and my rank is only 4. So what I would like to do is activate. I'm going to use my action to activate jinx you all, and I'm going to activate it on the two that Moon Knight is fighting, and then the two that are the closest to Agent Sherman.
Okay.
And
Alright, so
I'm
you'll get 4 of them
going
in
so yes, and all of them now have trouble. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's not it.
Or jinxing
Different
you.
power. Is that the one that gives them? Yeah, is
But
that the
when
one
you
that
when you
gives
did
them
jinx,
all
it was trouble.
trouble?
So yeah, jinx you all is foes have trouble in all action checks made for the duration. So you have 10 focus per turn. So you'll be able to hold this for 1 turn for 10 focus, and then you'll have to expend 10 focus again on your next turn. There's no limit on the range from the character to their foes once the power is activated. So yes, they will all have these 4 raptors will have trouble on all action checks for the next turn order.
Great. That's what I'm gonna do. Is that? Okay. I don't have to do a melee check for that. Great. Spending the focus for that. Perfect.
Is there anything else you can do for your turn?
I would like to. Can I use my movement to attempt to release Agent Sherman?
He has been released. Typhoid Mary was able
he has
to
been released?
snap. Yeah, she was able to snap the rope and get him to drop to the ground. So on his next turn, he will stand up and see if he can do something for himself. But yeah, he has been free. There is still a dinosaur like right in that area there, but you've at least provided a jinx to that one, the 2 that are nearest Mark, and 1 that's near the Resistosaurus.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'm gonna reposition so I'm not like in front of the dinosaur. I'm just gonna just go around and see how that works out for me. Just move around.
Yeah, again, their attention's very spread out, so I will say it doesn't necessarily pay attention to you as you go to move around it.
Yeah. Great.
Okay. Cool. All right. Next up, then I believe we're back to top of the order with Moon Knight. So, Moon Knight has 2 dinosaurs flanking him. 1 has succeeded on an attack, and then there's still 3 others besides that.
Okay. I think. So as Moon Knight's attacked and lands, he reaches behind his back underneath the cape and pulls out his truncheons, because we're going into melee now.
For sure.
And I'm full on of the opinion that this is the Moon Knight where the truncheons are the Ankh. So he's holding 2 Ankhs.
It's very good.
And then we're going to spend 5 focus and do a whirling frenzy and assault a foe with a tornado of whirling attacks.
Okay.
That's real bad. Okay. So that is... That's a 10 total.
Okay, a 10 does not beat the defense score of these dinosaurs, unless there's any other bonuses that would be added to it.
I don't believe so. It's just the melee and then the roll.
You do have we did all get an edge.
Oh. Yeah,
So
I'll
if
use
you
my
wanted
edge,
to
I
use
guess.
that, you
Okay.
could.
Yeah. So that is a 16 with the melee score then.
16 absolutely does it. Let's go ahead and multiply your damage.
That's 34 damage.
Okay.
Because my Marvel die was a 5, and so you multiply that, and then you add your... So yeah, 34 damage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mark.
Great. These dinosaurs are both looking pretty rough at this point. And as you basically just conk them right in the face, like feathers fly, there's a couple of dinosaur teeth, in slow motion go flying. They spell out, "Help me." And they both kind of like back up a little bit at this point. Like they're kind of like leaning around you and making these weird kind of clicking noises, trying to maybe determine if you're worth it at this point.
I do. So I like the idea because it was whirling frenzy. So he's like swinging and jumping back and forth and like moving around. And the last hit is when he like does the really big last swing and he says, "Onk you very much."
I get lost on these dinosaurs. You're introducing
It's
puns
not
to a
about
prehistoric
their
species.
enjoyment.
That's right.
That's for me, not
It's not
them.
for them. It's my time. Great. With that in mind, it is the Raptors' turns now. So, I'm going to say you have beaten up these two pretty significantly. They are going to take a look at you and kind of just make a little snap, and those two are going to go running off towards Sherman, who is still on the ground right now. You're not worth it. This scary marshmallow man, not worth it. They are both going to take ram attacks on Sherman, as they are going to essentially use their movement, their full speed in a straight line, and then do some damage to him.
Can I use a reaction? Is that
Yeah.
how that works?
Yeah. What reaction would you like to use?
Can I use a reaction to shoot one of them?
Let's
Or is it-
see.
Sorry.
Your reactions are escape, fastball special, help a teammate, interpose, ram, release, skulk, or taunt.
Oh,
I
I
also
see.
have
I see.
fastball special. Throw me.
Yes, you can. You can.
You close
fastball-
enough,
You
I
can
will
throw the
happily
cat.
throw you.
me.
If you're saying yes, let's do it. I'll do it 100%. Do you want to get thrown at
Full
some
consent.
dinosaurs?
Full consent.
Full
Also,
sign.
also, dinosaurs have trouble. The ones that are
Yes.
closest. So,
Mhm.
In that case,
yeah.
we'll do fastball special. I will. I guess there's sort of this weird unspoken moment where Typhoid Mary and Frank look at each other, and he's like, "All right," and just pick you up and body you into the two dinosaurs.
Okay. So go ahead.
I
This will
can't
be a +4 melee.
Gotcha.
Like, am I the object? Are you rolling to throw me, or am I rolling to do damage?
no, you're,
This is
No.
Frank rolling to throw.
Okay.
and then your reaction is to roll to hit.
Yes.
That's an 18.
Ooh.
Yeah. An 18 will absolutely hit. So, let's just this. Yeah, I think everybody gets 2 reactions, I believe, at this point.
No,
So,
does everybody have combat? What was it? I thought it was a specific thing. What was it?
I think almost everybody does. I'm looking at character sheets. Everybody does have at least 2 reactions. So
Evasion. I guess everybody having evasion makes sense.
yeah.
Or
So Typhoid Mary, go ahead and do a melee check. Let me see what that was.
combat
uh,
reflexes.
You're going to make a close-up attack against the enemy, and if the attack is a success, the character will take regular damage. So Frank has successfully thrown you. Now you're going to see if you can successfully hit.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay. All right. And then it's +4 melee, which makes that a 18.
Amazing.
Because I rolled.
Yes, 18 will hit. So
Yes. Okay. Okay. Cool. I have a frag grenade.
it was going to have to be a close-up attack because you are being thrown, and unless you're going to be subject to that grenade yourself.
Okay, all right. I can't like get thrown at them, like shove it in their mouth and go. Ugh!
I'd say that'd still hurt to get blown up by a dinosaur. I think
is-
bones are
That is
shrapnel at
fair.
that point.
That is 100%. Okay.
I'm not a scientist. I mean, don't
Nah,
quote me, but like
then
That doesn't mean don't do it. It just means it'll hurt you.
that's true. This is a sign that says don't run around the pool. But I'm not getting
Yes,
paid enough.
I would like to, because I would like to use my control over fire to make it not hurt me as much.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So yeah, this is straight up like you yeet me. I'm like, and go to looks like I'm about to punch it, and it's me shoving this frag grenade inside of the dinosaur.
Okay.
Oh God.
What is your damage for the frag grenade?
The frag grenade says a weapon uses its own damage multiplier of ×2.
Yes.
My melee is that's just the
Your I guess it's your Marvel die. Whatever you rolled on your Marvel die.
5.
5. Okay. So 5 in total. That's what it's multiplied by.
Yes.
Great. Because this is a fastball special, we will double that to make it 10. So you punch down the throat of a dinosaur, shoving a grenade into its esophagus. This raptor starts trying to get it out as you can like count the seconds of the pin now wrapped around your finger like some sort of corrupt wedding band.
Idiot!
You use your power to retain some of the blast as the dinosaur just looks to them and goes, "Ah!" And then goes, "Oh!" And just absolutely just erupts in dino viscera and fragmentation.
Oh no!
They both only had 6 hit points left, so that's 2 raptors down.
Nice.
Agent Sherman.
Ground, like...
Yeah, absolutely. You're fine. Agent Sherman has been blown back 10 feet and is on the ground again. He barely got up, so it's fair. Actually, there was a third one there too, so that one's also going to take that damage. There's one raptor that was focused on Sherman and had kind of taken some hits. It's still standing. It wasn't as close to the one that got the grenade down its throat, but it is looking pretty rough at this point. So, cool.
Amazing.
Next up, well, let's finish the raptor's turn. So that was 2 of them. The third one is going to take its turn on Sherman with the trouble involved there.
I would like to use a reaction to go after this guy with the martial arts.
Okay.
I'd like to try. I'd like to kick it.
I am looking at Felicia's reactions. It looks like she has escape, fastball special, help teammate, interpose, ram, release, skulk, and taunt. I'm not sure.
Oh, she can't attack. No, but there's something. What was it that I was reading from the actual? There was something. Hold on. It said. Hold on. I was looking it up on the actual book. My friend was like, "You're gonna need this." So, was it? Nope.
Yeah.
The text on combat reflexes, I think, was it? No. Sorry. Not trying to be difficult. I'm trying
you're
to.
Totally fine. Let me see.
That's combat. Where is it? I was looking at it earlier. It said that I had. It mentioned martial arts, and I couldn't remember what it was. I was reading it earlier.
Let's see. Here's your traits and tags.
Is it in the traits and tags?
So here's combat reflexes.
Possibly.
Let's see. Character can react quickly
there
in
was...
combat. It grants you an additional reaction each round, so you'll have the 2 reactions. But your reactions are listed in your powers and actions. So you have the reaction tab, and it'll show you what the reactions are for
Is there? I have no idea where I got the other thing from. I was looking at something. Okay, well, figure it out. Can I just use my reaction? Yeah, can I just use my reaction to interpose myself then?
Yeah, so you'll be the target of the attack then. Okay.
Yes.
In that case, let's see. The raptor, you step in the way of Sherman, who's been blown back, and the raptor again kind of tilts its head and goes to jump up and make a swipe at you. That is, let's see, agility roll. It's only at 12. I don't think that's going to hit Felicia.
It is not.
Okay. So, yeah, goes to make this jump, and you're able to dodge out of the way, cat-like reflexes and all that. And this raptor is left just kind of wriggling as it hits the ground and kind of turns around, puts its back out straight, its tail kind of wagging from side to side, and this predatory stance. The other two are going to take their bites on the Therizinosaurus. And I don't believe actually either of those hit the Therizinosaurus because it's a pretty hardy thing. Actually, no, I lied. They both hit. It's not very agile. That's its problem. So the Therizinosaurus is going to take a couple of chunks out of it. So these raptors have jumped. One of it's jumped onto its back. The other one is kind of like taking a chunk out of the leg that's in the trap since it can't really move any. The Therizinosaurus is trying to shake him off at this point. Next up in the turn order is Sherman, who is going to stand up. He is covered in just like dirt, and there's like little bits of metal just kind of sticking out. A little bit. There's like a fragment of dinosaur bone. He just goes, "Ow! What the heck? You know what? I'm gonna ask this question later." And he is going to draw his pistol and see if he can shoot the third dinosaur that didn't get fully blown up. So he is going to do some snap shooting. He is going to shoot from the hip. And he is, I believe, going to miss. He is going to miss. So his snap shooting fails as he just pulls his gun. This is like right as it dodges out of the way of Black Cat. It turns to look at him. Its back is completely straight. He takes a shot at it and it backs up a little bit. The shot goes wide and he just looks over to Black Cat, just shrugs. All yours, I suppose. Next up is Typhoid Mary.
So they're on the ground.
You have two former dinosaurs. A third one that is kind of between Sherman and Black Cat in this little triangle, and then there's still the two that are with the Therizinosaurus about 40 feet away.
Gosh, and then those things are still there. So they get up and they're just kind of like this. Are we also live? And then you just hear, like, okay, yep, we're still doing this. We're still doing this. They have a knife. Says 5. I can throw a knife up to 5 spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Weapon.
So that's about 20 feet-ish.
Okay. So is it possible for me to take 2 of them and roll them at the other 2 before I use my movement to turn towards the one that's going after the larger dinosaur?
The far 2 are about 40 feet away, so you would have to
so
use some of your
move.
movement to close that distance.
Then I will do that. I think it's better to get the dinos off of my teammates than it is the big guy at the moment.
Okay.
So they kind of go, like, pump themselves up. And they're like, are you sure you even want to do this? We could just go, nope, time to play! And then they go to dart off. And it's again with like the running and then the throwing into a slide so they can stay low. It's like a constant with them. They skitter around a lot, almost like they're trying to just like stay at people's center of gravity. There's always a chance they could launch themselves at something. That's how they're described to move. So I will do my roll. But do I roll with anything extra because the raptors have trouble? Like them having trouble
they just
doesn't
take
give
their
me
rolls
edge,
at disadvantage,
right?
but you'll
Okay.
you're beating their defense, not necessarily like a save that they have to do.
Gotcha. Does a 10? I rolled a 9, and then this says a +1, and so that's a 10.
A 10 would not hit.
Wah.
Unless I don't know if you've already used your. Well, you have used your edge, right?
Mm-mm.
No? Would you like to?
Yeah, for this. Do I? We only have the one.
So far.
Well, yeah. Let's be honest. Bloody Mary is not worried about any type of things. They're not being strategic. So.
I'll say she's not a long-term thinker. She doesn't know what she's having for lunch today.
Yeah,
It might be dinosaur.
It might be dinosaur. In fact, if that's what we're going off of right now, since this is a 4-day hike. Look, Mama's gonna want some food, and I rolled a 13.
A 13?
Yes, that's a fantastic roll, and then the +1 would make it a 14.
A 14 hits.
Yay! Yay! Yeah, the 2 knives kind of would go. So one would hit a raptor, just kind of straight, kind of chunk, and the other one would probably be like a body blow, trying to aim for like the legs or the heart, so that it couldn't move very well. At the very least, more like a disabling hit than a straight out fatal blow.
And these are both going at the one that's nearest Black Cat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go for it.
We're getting rid of this guy. So they're running over there, and they throw that. And now, do I roll for damage again?
Yeah, so you'll do your Marvel die multiplied by your, let's see. I'm not sure I actually have Typhoid Mary's pulled up, but it's whatever your agility modifier is. And it'll have a plus number as well. Let me pull up yours.
Agility modifier is ×5. If I'm looking at this character sheet.
There we go. Yes. Multiplied by 5 plus 5.
Cool. So then the agility, from what my edge roll was.
Your Marvel die. So your middle die, you'll multiply that by 5 plus 5.
I know. I'm saying the number that the roll I had just done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so that was an M, so that was a 1. So but
Okay.
5 times 5, so 1 times 5 is 5.
So
plus
10
5
in
is
total. Yeah.
10.
All right. All right. You lodge a knife into the side of this raptor. 2 knives, in fact. And the thing kind of jolts a little bit with pain and then turns to look at you. There's a knife sticking right out of the side of this thing's head, but dinosaur brains. You didn't hit anything critical. You've just made it angry. Great.
Handlebar? If this bitch runs at me, I'm going to use the
For
handle
sure.
of my life like a
It's like a
handlebar
dinosaur
and ride
motorcycle now.
It very much is. I'm going to name him Razor Scooter.
Perfect. Punisher is up next.
Okay. What? How many raptors are left? Did we kill 2?
Yeah, 3 left.
3 left.
One
Okay.
2 of them only
active
taking a
and 2
little bit of
overrun.
damage. Those are the 2 near the Thrusinosaurus. The last one is struggling.
Okay. In that case, I will. I probably, if I threw a frag grenade, I would also hit the Therizinosaurus, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, all right. In that case, I will just shoot at one of the other, slightly more healthy ones. Trying to get them out of the thing. That's a 16 to hit.
16 absolutely hits. Yeah.
And then, so that's. God damn it! I did it again. So 1 times. So 5. Sorry, it's your Marvel die times. Times 6. You said last time.
If you're using your pistol, it would be times 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Frank has a pistol, submachine gun, frag grenade, and knife. Trust me, I almost gave him a bazooka, and I thought better of it. So, yes, you will add a +1 bonus to your usual damage multiplier, which is your agility. Typically times 5. This would be times 6, and then you'll add 4 to it.
Okay, so another 10 damage on one of the other raptors.
Okay. All right. Yeah, successfully hits, and there's one of them on the Rhizinosaurus's back. You hit it point blank, broadside of a barn, and the thing goes wheeling off to the side of the thing's back. Anything else for your turn?
I don't think so at the moment. It's really more just, I think it's just, he's a dogged step by step shoot, move on. So I think he's I think he's just kind of maneuvering. Maybe he might move away a little bit from whatever's going on with Sherman at this point, because that one raptor's kind of on death's door and other people are handling it. So he's worried about the other ones at this point.
Great.
But
okay. The Rhizinosaurus's turn, and you just knocked one to the ground. It's going to take its attack on that one, and it will land. So it is going to do 36 points of damage to that one, and you'll watch as that one is barely able to get up at this point. It's barely hanging on. That is pretty much it for Rhizinosaurus. So next up, we have Black Cat.
Okay, so how many are left of the ones that are affected by my that were affected by my
2 of them.
2 of them are still up?
Mm-hmm.
They're further away, correct? They're the ones fighting with Moon Knight?
No, Moon Knight is no longer. Those 2 ran off towards Sherman and got blown up by a grenade. There's one left